everybody, welcome to another episode of Jedi Modi Sports Betting. In this video, what we're going to be doing is hammering some MLB bets. To do a recap from yesterday, had a great day. I only had 2 picks into yesterday's MLB Best Bets video, but those went 2-0. They were each for 1 unit, so we ended the day up 2 units yesterday. Athletics team total over 3.5, that cashed. Rays minus 1.5, that cash. That was actually for plus money, plus 105. So I actually ended up a little bit above 2 units yesterday, but finally had a really, really good day with these picks. The past couple days, I had exactly the same amount of wins and losses. Now, I was up a little bit on those days just due to playing plus money plays, but nice to have a 2-0 day yesterday, and we will hope to continue that success today. I have 4 picks for you guys today. 3 of them I found using the OddsJam positive expected value page. The other play I found using the OddsJam arbitrage page. Lots of ways to skin a cat, lots of ways to find profitable bets. For the first play that we are locking in is the Orioles versus White Sox, and we are locking in the total runs to go over 10.5 at plus 172 odds at FanDuel. So number 1, I locked this in, as I mentioned, on the positive expected value page. Everything is derived from these no vig odds that you see here. So essentially the way it works is, and we see this case, the no vig odds price this at plus 166. We locked it in at plus 172. There's your profitability. And the cool thing and what makes positive EV betting so powerful is the way it works is OddsJam pulls lines from the sharpest sportsbooks in the world. So there are a ton of different sportsbooks out there. They all have their own proprietary way. They come to their own odds independently, and some of them are better than others. So OddsJam tests to find out which sportsbooks are considered the best, are considered the sharpest, then removes the VIG and uses a weighted average to calculate these no VIG odds that you see here. So you can view anything in the no VIG odds column as the most accurate line of what a sports book should have their odds priced at, right? The most accurate representation of a line. Again, in this case, we got it at plus 166. FanDuel offering it at plus 172. The gap between these two numbers, there is your profitability. Now, I did look into this play a little bit. It's 2 pitchers that admittedly have decent ERAs. Now, obviously, we know that this early in the season, ERA doesn't really mean a whole lot. It's basically based on like 1 or 2 starts, but it's just 2 pitchers that I don't really trust. On the Orioles side, Tyler Wells, who has been kind of okay in his young career. And then on the White Sox side, it's Mike Clevenger, who had an incredible year 2020 when he got traded to the Padres, but then got hurt for the playoffs, missed the entire next season, really hasn't been the same pitcher since. So I do like targeting the over in this game. Then also, White Sox have a hitter's park. So that's another thing in our favor. Of course, the most important thing is the value. I do just like looking into the matchups a little bit as well. And keep in mind, we're getting this at plus 172. So we're getting it for plus money. I'm not telling you that this is the most likely outcome, that this play is a lock, but you consistently play bets that are for plus money, and you don't need to win as many of your bets in order to be profitable. That's why we could go 3-3, 2-2, 3-3 the past couple days and still be profitable, because we're playing stuff up to plus 172. So that's play number 1. Play number 2, we're looking at another total, and we're going with Mets versus Athletics to go under 6.5 runs, plus 190 odds at FanDuel. So the OddsJam perfect line prices this at about plus 185. So the 5-cent gap between these two numbers is where our profitability comes into play. Again, plus money, we're getting this at plus 190. I've had a lot of success betting on baseball, specifically targeting these alternate total props and total runs markets. I'm not going to say, again, that they're locks or anything, but you don't need to win 50% or even really like 40% of these in order to be profitable. So you're going to have some down days. That happens with sports betting. But when you have good days and you win 50, 55, 60% of your bets, the payout's higher. It's really as simple as that. Now, looking into this matchup, we have a really good pitcher on the mound for the Mets in Senga. But on the other side, I don't trust the Mets offense really at all. Kind of no matter how you slice it, they're a bottom offense. Now, the pitcher for the Athletics, obviously you see the ERA here is a little bit concerning. Again, as we mentioned, that isn't everything ERA this early in the year. Couple bad starts, it's incredibly inflated. Another reason why I really like this play is actually because of the weather. OddsJam partners with a website called Ballpark Pal that basically calculates and tracks what the weather is going to be like for certain games in certain stadiums. And this game is not projected to have a lot of runs scored because of the weather. It's cold, it's windy, and the A's just don't have a hitter's ballpark. So under 6.5, obviously not a lot of runs, but plus 190 odds at FanDuel. We're kind of paying for that. So that is play number 2. Play number 3. This one is admittedly risky as well. Twins first half run line plus a half at plus 116 odds at FanDuel. So the OddsJam perfect line prices this at plus 114. We get it at plus 116. Gap between these two numbers is your profitability. Now this one has a lower percent, right? Below 1%. But I don't necessarily just completely avoid plays that are below a certain percentage, right? You could still find some really valuable plays, even in the lower EV percents. And what you want to do, if you're ever unsure whether the play is good or not, you want to look at the odds of the bet you're placing and compare it to where the other sportsbooks are pricing a play at. So FanDuel at plus 116. Every other book has it plus 100, plus 105, minus 103. The closest one is very sharp sportsbook Pinnacle at plus 107. But what we can do is take this a step further. Click View Event Page, open it in a new tab, and it pulls up the screen that you see here. Now I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see everything. But what you want to do, and again, this is just the total market for first half run line, right? You want to click the button, Show No VIG Odds, and it does exactly what it sounds like. Removes the VIG. So we locked in Twins first half run line plus a half at plus 116 odds. So what you want to do here is compare the odds of the bet that you placed to the no VIG odds of all the other sports books, basically trying to answer the question, are the odds that I placed, are they better than the no VIG odds of the majority of sports books, including the sharp ones? And the answer is yes. Pinnacle, very sharp sports book, has this at plus 114. Circa Vegas, very sharp sports book, also has it at plus 114. Another sharp sportsbook, plus 114. Then the OddsJam algo odds are the same thing as the no VIG odds here. So those are the same exact thing, but even though this was a lower EV percent, plus 116 odds at 0.78% positive expected value, still a really, really good play in terms of profitability because we beat the no VIG odds of literally every sportsbook, including the sharp ones. So really good play here. Again, it's a little bit risky. The Yankees have Nestor Cortez on the bump. The Twins had their stud starter get scratched, and they're having a first-time starter, Varland, starting in this game for the Twins. Now, he's not like a stud prospect by any means, but I did look into him a little bit. Fangraphs said that he had pretty good stuff. Mostly going to be a middle reliever or kind of middle of the rotation type pitcher, but he's got good stuff. He increases velocity as the years have gone on, and we're just asking for the Twins to not be losing at the end of the first 5 innings. Now, I'm not expecting them to put up 9 in the first inning like they did yesterday. They just need to be not losing. Plus 116 odds at FanDuel. And again, the value is the most important thing here. So that's play number 3. The last one, play number 4 that we're looking at here is Atlanta Braves first half money line at minus 121 at BetRivers. This is also Barstool, Unibet, TwinSpires, all the same book. Now, I found this on the arbitrage page, right? Arbitrage bets. Arbitrage opportunity is when you can bet both sides of a line and guarantee profit. Generally, when there is a situation where there's an arbitrage opportunity, one of those sportsbooks is most likely mispriced compared to the market. Sportsbooks don't want to have a scenario in which you can literally bet both sides to profit, right? They don't want to be taken advantage of that way. So one of them is probably mispriced. In this case, BetRivers / Barstool, all those books, clearly mispriced compared to the market. They have this priced at minus 121. Look at every other sports book and where they price it, right? Minus 140, very sharp sports book, Circa Vegas, minus 140. Another sharp sports book, minus 140. The rest of the sports books also in the minus 140s. And if you're ever unsure, right, this wasn't found on the positive EV page, so we're not exactly sure if it's positive EV or not, according to like the OddsJam perfect line. Well, let's find out. Click View Event Page, open it in a new tab, pull up the screen we see here. Guess what? OddsJam algo odds price this at about minus 125.5, rounding up to minus 126. And we got it at minus 121. And look at the no VIG odds of the other sports books. Minus 130, minus 128, minus 127, up to minus 130. Really, really good price here. Braves, obviously an incredible team, won the World Series 2 years ago. Dealing with some injuries this year. They have Charlie Morton on the bump, who hasn't been as good the past 2 years as he was previously with the Braves. Still a reliable enough pitcher at 39 years old. The Royals side, they have Brady Singer. I think the Braves and their bats will be able to ding him up. And if they're not, and it's tied at the end of the first 5 innings, guess what? We'll just get a refund and we'll get our money back. But I do really like this one. The only play that we're not locking in for plus money, but I do, in fact, still think it's really good. And that's going to be it. So 4 plays for you guys to lock in. For those of you watching, I appreciate it. If you still are, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Hit me up on Twitter at my Twitter handle you see on the screen here. And that's it. So enjoy the games tonight. Again, thanks for watching and have a good one.